Easy Tigers, I hope everyone's fine and dandy. Welcome back as always. First things first, just big up the Patreons and the guys that have supported me on PayPal and Patreon. It's thanks to you guys, we're out here continuing to uncover stuff that has been missed by the narrative. So, without further ado, I'm going to be giving you exclusive drone footage and my opinion of this area. Now, like I always say, stuff is buried. Now let's get straight into it. Sharala Catacombs. So it says tombs had already been discovered in the late 19th century in the area, conveniently, hey? But it was in 1994 that a group of catacombs were unearthed while works were being carried out in and around the windmill. Single rock-cut tombs were the most common type of tombs in the Mediterranean, and Malta was no exception. With the passage of time, the developed system of having a corridor with a number of burial chambers on the sides. These are known as catacombs. Although catacombs are associated with the early Christian, it is known that this type of burial was common in various religious groups. The present groups are interesting as they indicate the presence of a sizable community living in the area. Unfortunately, the tombs have been damaged by ancient quarrying, by the building of the windmill during the laying of the drainage system in the village. The types of tombs noticed in this complex are the luculi and the window grave. The window tombs have a window-like opening which give access to the burial chamber. Usually these are also foot and headrests carved into the rock itself. Luculi are rectangular recesses, usually dug into the side of the walls. They are of varying sizes as they are known to have been used for infant burial as well as for adults. Some of the window tombs have got columns flanking their entrances, some of which are decorated with leaves. In this complex one can find an agate table, probably used for the table for the final farewell of this deceased. Now, if you ask me, this is a buried complex and it was not made for humans. If you look at the size of the stairs and the ratio to the doors, it's crystal clear that the only way you can go in this door is if you're on your hands and knees. There's no way in this world that you'd be able to carry a deceased person along with some belongings down the stairs and into these little complexes. It's impossible. Now, the only way you could do it is going down on all fours. That's the only logical explanation. Or sliding down on your backside. You couldn't stand up and walk down them, and you couldn't even crouch down and go in there. You'd have to go on all fours, the only way possible. Now, that then asks myself, who were these built for, and who built these, and why is this abundant all over Malta? Everywhere over Malta, these sort of places are everywhere. Like, you dig down, boom, you're inside a complex. So there's a lot of questions that need to be answered here. And again, I don't want to discredit any history. But it's funny that the Knights of Malta, these are guys in shining armour, right? But it seems to me that these guys are the ones that have gone around and dismantled everything and then rebuilt everything in their own way to rewrite history. That's what it seems like here. Because why, look at that. Why would you actually build a windmill bang in the middle or bang on top of an ancient burial site like this? You know, where was the respect for the people that were dead, you know, and the actual site itself? But it doesn't matter anyway. Listen, I've got exclusive footage because I actually get my drone in and you can see the distinct level where it's been cast on top of each other, and they've tried to bury it with at least 2 foot of some other stone. It looks like limestone, but a different version. You can see like the tanned colour underneath, and then you've got the other one that's just been chopped down completely flush, and then they've put this new stone on top that's been cast clearly. But why would you build a windmill directly on top of it? I don't understand. Anyway, let's get to it. So I'm just going to show you a couple of news articles next, and then I'm going to get real close and personal because there's a certain feature within this in inverted catacombs that has really knocked my socks off. Burial site unearthed in Zurich could be the missing link to underground necropolis. Several sites all around Malta have been proven to house spectacular underground temples and tombs. but the latest discovery comes from the south of the island, might have even larger implications. This weekend, newly unearthed catacombs at Zurich were discovered by chance. There are many sites between the newly discovered catacombs and Schroller necropolis, among which are shaft tombs and regular catacombs. Since the site is only 200 metres away from the Schroller ones, it could mean that they might be connected. However, they could also instead be connected to other tombs found along the way during the recent roadwork. Can't make this stuff up, can you? Being in close proximity to the main catacombs under Schroller, it gives us the idea that the whole area, even unearthed the adjacent fields in the house, might have been used as burial sites at 7 points in the past. So basically they're saying that this is all connected underground, but they're trying to say that it's all they're all burial sites connected underground. So the exact area of the site will remain unknown for now to preserve the safety of these newly found catacombs. Spokespeople for the Superintendent of Cultural Malta told us that an archaeologist has been sent out to protect, record and investigate the site. Discussions are being carried out between the organisations and Transport Malta to plan temporary routes to avoid the damage from happening to this archaeological site. Protecting the most significant buildings, monuments and features of the Maltese islands. Let's have a look what they say then. A complex of tombs and small catacombs are located next to the Schroller windmill in Zurich, with multiple chambers dating to the early Christian period and grouped into two main areas. Some of the catacombs have ornamental rock-cut pilasters decorating the entrances. One of the chambers still has a ceiling plug in situ. Some of the tombs were discovered in 1926 and 1936 during surface trenching works in the area. All of the tombs have a degree of damage as a result of rock cutting in the area, resulting in most of the tombs having parts of the chambers missing. In the surroundings of Safi and Zurich, a number of late Roman, early Christian tombs and catacombs and remains of classical period buildings have been recorded, indicating a well-established community in the area during this classical period. So it's telling you that there was a humongous complex here that was thriving. Now we can see the complex and it doesn't look like it was made for humans. So what is going on here? So the site is considered to have a medium level of historical importance at a national level, in that it provides evidence of a community living in the area in a specific time period. It is one of the best surviving examples of a great relevance of the South. So just through these articles it tells you that they have buried complexes in the area. So let's get involved then, shall we? Let's have a look with the drone. I've managed to get the drone right up close and personal so we can have a real good look here. So this is the ceiling stone. I don't think much of them, to be honest with you, because when I've looked at other catacombs, directly underneath them, look at this, this is very fishy. Doesn't this look like alien head? It doesn't look like a leaf, it looks like a reptilian's head on the pillar I'm on about. But look, if you look at the ratio to the stairs, to the door, it don't make no sense. The only way you can do that is crawling down on your hands and knees. Look at that. But you can see where it's cast directly on top of each other. One section on top of another section. If you look at the left hand side of the inside of the door frame, you can see where the hinge went. Now I bet my bottom dollar where that grass is growing out, there is a cavity where the hinge of the door sat. So the door swung inwards like they always do. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Look at it. Look at him. Looks like a reptilian head, no? But I digress. It's just not making sense to me. The stairs to the ratio to... I can only imagine like non-humans living in this area. And again, it says it's been quarried back in the day. Like, why would you quarry this? Look at it. It's clearly a site of importance. The only reason you quarry it is to hide something, really. Look. So I don't know what these little circle holes are in the middle. So these are meant to be two like headrests. But again, to the size of the head, to the portion of the area of the body, it don't make no sense. And again, you can see it's just been cast directly on top of each other. Directly on top. And all these little lines, these might be ancient tool marks where they was like getting rid of it or dismantling it. Or it could just be imprints from the geopolymer. But I believe it's where they just mashed it up. 100% mashed up. Let's have a look at these little lines on the floor. Like, what would they be for, you know? Very peculiar stuff. So this is literally a crumb of a complex. And like the articles were saying, there's multiple buried underneath the whole of this town. But because they're doing road works and they're doing repair works in places, then they're picking up a little bit of the ground, like digging it up and then coming into catacombs. Well, they're not actually catacombs. They are no more than old world living. But it seems to me the reason it's been hidden because it don't seem like they're for humans. Look at the size of these. You can't carry a deceased body in here. This is what I'm trying to get at. You can't carry a deceased body. Imagine you're doing a ceremony and you've got your relatives here and you're taking someone down to be buried. Like, that make no sense. You're not going to fit in there. You ain't going to be able to walk downstairs and you're not going to be able to get inside the doors. Don't make no sense. And you look at the beds. Look at the beds. Like, what are these about? Like, you'd be sleeping at an angle. And what are the little holes next to them? It seems to me like these little bed rests like have been added at a later date, just to make it seem like they're catacombs. You know, look, they lay to rest here. This is where they put their head. Because some of them have got them and some of them haven't. Like this one here in the centre of the screen. Like, again, like that. And by the way, I just want to point out the fact that this what it's built on, the windmill was built directly on top of the geopolymer structure that's been buried, because you can see that it's all the geopolymer going up to the first 1 foot of the building. Look, cast directly on top, and it's full of water underneath as well, by the way. I just want to chuck that one in there. Anyway guys, I hope I've shown you something you haven't seen before, or I'll shed some light on a topic that's not really spoke about that much. So please guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. And thanks to the Patreons and thanks to everyone that's supporting so far. Look where we are and look how far we've come. Let's have a Brucey bonus, shall we? Let's spruce for Bruce. Now, it's not a big one, it's just a little one. That's what they always say, eh? Right, so as I was leaving this complex that seems to have been built by reptilians, or built for reptilians, because of the portion of the head going into these, down the stairs and into these complexes, don't make no sense whatsoever. I noticed that there was what is called in the narrative, cart ruts. But what I've been exposing is they are far from cart ruts, they are to channel services. Now this is done in geopolymer, whether it's been cut into the stone or it's an imprint, it's there. So again, what is guanin? We need to get to the bottom of these cart ruts, guys, don't we? We need to get to the bottom of this stuff because it's not making no sense. So just like all the other cart ruts I've been showing you, it's becoming very clear now that they are not cart ruts. They are not marks done by wheels. They are clearly chase marks to convey either water or power, or water for power. Either or, you decide. But guys, please, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your time. You could have been anywhere doing whatever you want, but you chose to come and watch my video. And I respect that more than anything in the world. So guys, if you can, please, it doesn't cost you nothing at all whatsoever, just to give me a little like, because the algorithm, it helps push these videos around. So it don't cost you nothing, but it means everything to me. So please give me a like, a subscribe, comment, share, and support the work if you can. One love, guys. Ta-das. Ta-das.